Hey guys, this is a clip from the recent Rebellious Noise Football Podcast over on the RNFC channel. If you like this, go and check out the full episode and subscribe over there. If you like little clips like this, then stay put and subscribe to the Rebellious Noise channel for clips like this one.
Well, I think that's a good time to start talking about the semi-final then, right? Let's look ahead. Obviously, it's going to be England versus Denmark. I'll be honest, boys, it's not the matchup I wanted because I think Denmark is everyone's second team after what happened at the beginning of the tournament. I think we're all secretly rooting for Denmark as well. I don't want to be the team that everybody's going against and saying like, oh, they've ruined the party, they've ruined the fairy tale. You know, I don't want to be that team. But at the same time, hey, I'm English. I love England. I want England to do well. So, of course, at this very moment in time, I want to be that team. But I didn't want the draw to work out this way. I just thought, I wish there was on the other side. If we went out, I'd carry on supporting them. But, hey, it is the way it is. But not only that, it's not just about being the bad guy or anything like that. Because everyone's kind of like supporting Denmark through, they've had an amazing story after a difficult start. And we spoke about it on this channel if you want to go back and watch our kind of reviews of the other games as well. It's been a very, 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 very tough start and an emotional tournament for them. But then on top of that, it's not just that. They're a decent side. They got a very good spine and some really, really good players who have really come into themselves in this tournament as well. So it's going to be a tough one. What are you guys thinking about the semi-finals?
Yeah. Look, no, I think to be fair, like if we had played Denmark, obviously just after, which was the unfortunate incident that obviously happened with Eriksson, I think that that would be kind of when it would be tougher to kind of take, force a defeat, that way. But I think we are much further through at present, from that. Yeah, it is the team. It's annoying because I guess like if it was the other side of the bracket, like we could obviously be facing Italy in this game. As a semi-final, which I think is quite terrifying. So it's a bit like, out of those two teams.
Yeah, of course.
I also wouldn't have fancied our chances against Belgium as much, to be fair. So, I think ultimately this is possibly the best case scenario, but it's not one to take lightly. I think you're definitely right on that, Scott. I think we are facing a Danish side that are just very, very strong. They do play a lot of good attacking play. So we're not facing a team that aren't going to be afraid to score goals. So that's obviously, and as again, we've got to remember, our clean sheet is still intact. I do think that's very important for us. I do feel that even if we do scrape like a 2-1 or a 3-2, that kind of thing, with Denmark, I think it's so important to keep that clean sheet. The same thing tonight, like I felt like Ukraine, like towards the end, it's very hard. Again, none of us have been in that scenario as either a player or a manager or anyone kind of upper. But when your team is losing 4-0, or 3-0, then 4-0, and you have to keep sending players forward, giving chances, knowing that even if you get one, you're still three to go pretty much. And Ukraine did that quite well, to be fair, towards the end. But it's a case of like, I just feel with us, if we had, even in this game, if we had won it just like 4-1, it's just that, needing that clean sheet, I think is so important.
I think that's a great point. Like, we still didn't give away the consolation goal. Like, we haven't given that away. Even at 4-0, we're like, no, not even a consolation goal. You're not getting it. And you're right, that could have easily happened in the last 5, 10, 15 minutes. And it didn't. And I think that going into the semi-finals against, no matter who we face, like I said, Belgium, Italy would have been hard. And I am worried about Denmark's spine and, again, the kind of route they've kind of had because everyone's behind them, myself included, if they weren't facing England. But you're right. Like it's important. We've had a clean sheet. It's been very important. Dan, what do you think about as far as our defence goes against Denmark?
I think we've defended like really well actually as a unit. 5 clean sheets. I think they were saying that no one's ever done that at Euros before, 5 consecutive clean sheets. So, considering the tournament, I think only used to be 6 games long, that would have been pretty much getting into a final. So Obviously, the extra round nowadays means that you could potentially keep 7. But, you know, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like, I wasn't the biggest Jordan Pickford fan. Like, whenever he's played for Everton, I've always thought it was a bit shaky. But it just seems like now he's got that little bit more quality in front of him with an England defence. I just feel as though he seems like he comes into his own seemingly in an England shirt, whereas I feel as though when he plays for Everton, he's got mistakes in him, whereas for England, it seems like he's more I wouldn't say necessarily that he's more proud to play for the England badge, but it just seems like he pulls out his biggest performances for tournament football. You know, I can't recall a time where he's really let England down at all. And, you know, I feel as though whichever way we're going with, like, the defence, it looks like he's going to go now probably with Stones and Maguire as centre-halves throughout the tournament, like throughout the rest of it now. Obviously, Mings was unlucky not to keep his place after, you know, he had a decent start.
And
but
even
then
against Ukraine, being like, you know, I don't want to say an easier game. What is an easier game? That's when you could have played Mings again.
Or even bringing Connor Cody or Ben White, you know, it's like, you know, they're obviously players that, you know, that haven't even got, well, many minutes at this tournament yet. But no, I feel as though, you know, we've got as good a chance as anything with the Danes as well, as you've said. I think that everyone's like second team, and you know, if we do have to, sometimes though, there's no room for niceness in football. You know, you have to be a bit.
Someone's got to be the bad guy.
The thing is, you've got to be ruthless. You know,
Sean Marcus Ric Flair, May 24.
It's like
check out wrestling channel. You're a wrestling fan.
Yeah, it's like, I'm sorry, I love you, but I'm going to put this penalty in the top corner now. But no, I think, I mean, I do think as though, you know, we did get the kind of easier side of the draw. I know we were talking before about, if we won the group, then we get a harder round of 16 game. But it seems like
probably worked out better for us.
Yeah, it did actually, because if we'd have finished second. I mean, you look at the team that finished second in our group was it Croatia?
Yeah.
Yeah, Croatia.
Yeah,
so we would have been on that side of it with Spain, and then
got Czech Republic, but it could have been France. Yeah.
Well, Spain, or it would have been was it them? Who did? It would have been France or Switzerland, wouldn't it? Yeah. So Switzerland, and then obviously a semi-final. We'd have been looking at a semi-final against like Italy, rather than a semi-final again,
which could be the final. To be fair.
So I mean, the thing is, I mean, like, look, I'm not going to come in here and say, I think we'll struggle against Denmark. I think we've got enough quality to beat Denmark.
Well, this is the thing. You look back at 2018, right? And we looked at that and we were like, Croatia. Yeah, they've been very good in this tournament, but we should beat them. I always thought that we would beat them and we'd get to the final and we'd get battered by France. That's the way I felt back then, right? Didn't happen. We didn't beat Croatia. Now, I know that was probably wrong in some sense, where I still look at it and go, we should beat Croatia, because we didn't. But I feel even more so now, we should beat Denmark, you know, which is a dangerous way to be after what I just said about Croatia. But I just, like, if it's ever going to line up for us, you know, like you said, we've had all these games at Wembley. It's 25 years since Euro 96. There we go. Southgate's had his moment. He's beat the Germans. That amazing kind of interview he did after the Germany game, saying like, you know, I've let those guys down in '96, but I hope this has helped kind of heal some wounds and whatever else. It was amazing, you know. And again, you look at these 3 shirts behind us, mate. I've put this up on purpose. 3 semi-finals, semi, and I'm hoping we get beyond that. And like, these are tournaments we all remember as amazing tournaments. But the fact is, we didn't get to the final, and we probably should have in every single one of them. So looking at this one, it could be the same old story where we look at it and go, you know, if his toenail was a little bit longer, if this penalty went this way, you know. But you got to say, even compared to these 3 matches, all 3 of them, you know, Croatia thought was beat them, Germany probably should have beat them, West Germany again probably should have beat them. You look at this one, Denmark. It's a better chance than all 3 of them put together, surely.
I think the best thing we need to do, win the game in 90 minutes, because every one of those... Yeah, because you think, like, 1990, lost on penalties. 96, lost on penalties. 2018 was that extra time, wasn't it?
Extra time.
So I think the key is win the game in 90 minutes. You know, don't try and play for the draw.
2 hours, yeah.
Yeah, it's like and that's the thing as well. But then again, if a game does go to extra time, I feel as though we've got enough legs on the bench.
That's what Germany told me. That's what Germany told me when he brought on Grealish at like 70 minutes. And you can also bring on Rashford if you want, and Sancho, and screw it, we've got 5 subs. We can bring on even Henderson if we want.
If it goes to extra time, then you get another one, so you get 6 in total.
If any team is ready to play 2 hours, it's got to be us. Not being big-headed, but like realistically, we're not picking our best as far as attacking. We're not picking our best team. We've still got a lot more to give when it goes to 70, 80, 90 minutes.
Because I mean, you think, right? If we're starting with say, all right, we'll go for argument's sake. If he goes with the same 3 that he goes with tonight, so if he goes with Sterling, Sancho, Kane, right, with Mount in the middle, you think goes to extra time. You could literally go, okay, so we're going to go bring on Grealish, Foden, Rashford, for example.
Yeah.
That's, 3 players that...
Which A is amazing in that side, but B also saves the players we need for a potential final as well. That's why it's so perfect. Like, we've literally got... It's mad. We have such a good squad. And I think a lot of people get so hung up on we need to play this guy and this guy. But like you just said, Dan, like, if we bring those guys on at the end, what are they going to do for us? Like, what could they do for us? It's amazing.
And I think that's where Southgate's done really well with Grealish as well, because the whole country is saying, oh, we need to play Grealish, It's like, I think as though he's managed it really well, because he's like, okay, so how am I going to get the best out of Grealish? It's like, okay, what I'm going to do is when there's a defence that's like really tired and lagging. Now, you got to think, right? Now, I know I'm thinking a step ahead here. You think you're going up against an Italian central defence who have got a combined age of 70. They're not going to want to come up against pace like Grealish. They're not going to want to come up against like Sterling's, Rashford's, Foden's. They're not. They're really not going to want to play against those kind of players. Yeah,
the pace we've got as an option is what I feel will help us hopefully win the tournament. Because it is just a fact that we can get that pace on the pitch at, like you're saying, 70 minutes, at like 80 minutes, and if it has to go to extra time, which I don't want it to go, again, in that extra time session, we can get that pace on the pitch, which is key. I also feel that we've just got people, we've got loads of people who can score goals. As much as Henderson saying he's not confident, I think tonight give him a nice confidence boost, to be able to do that again at hopefully maybe if one of the future games coming up.
But and you look as well, it was a free header as well. Like, I think Ukraine were probably like, oh yeah, he's not going to score, just leave him. And it just literally came in. He's like had all the time in the world, just come in, bang, nutted it in.
It was sweet. I think with Grealish though, like again Southgate, and I know you said you're going forward. I'm going really forward this now. I think Southgate is looking at him as potentially for the World Cup. That's maybe when, give it another year with him. Because again, with that World Cup coming right based on the heels of this now, really think about it. Yeah. He may be looking to hold him up for then. Kane obviously, he at the moment is the playmaker as far as with Southgate is concerned. And although we didn't see that kind of that quality with Kane in the first couple of games, he has definitely progressed better. And like you say, now he's obviously 3 goals in 5 games. That's literally where he should be. But you'd argue, to be fair, he should have been 5 or 6 goals in those same games, because he is meant to be our playmaker in the day. But again, I think it's just the English thing where we're so pessimistic about obviously our performance every time, and we have to just remember where we are still. We are undefeated. We have not had a goal conceded. Yeah, and we are now beating teams, by more than one goal.
It sounds good.
We're getting better at this rate. We're 8-0 in the final. If the trajectory continues.
Well, calm down there.
But the trajectory continues. I
can see what you're saying.
Games,
I'd like to see you stick a tenner on that, by the way.
It's all going in the right direction. It's all going right, but like you say, stick a tenner on it might be tough, because we're going to face Italy or Spain if we get there. Let's go when we get there.
And I think you know, and that's no, honestly, everything that we're saying here as well, that's no disrespect to Denmark, because I know we've spoken quite a bit about going forward to like a final and stuff. We can't forget that there is still a Danish team that have got a point to prove in, you know, in the way.
With a lot riding it, a lot of emotion, a lot of skill. It's not just emotion as well. Like they've been very, very good since that second game. Obviously, after the first one, where it was like they went back and they played it not in the right headspace, but they've been amazing since. You know, a lot of emotion and passion, but a great skill as well. But let's get into that, boys. Let's get into predictions for the England-Denmark game. You know, I'll go first, and I'm going to say 2-0 because I'm a little bit scared of Denmark, and I think most times I'd say 2-1. Because of the fact we haven't conceded a single goal, and you put up Denmark, I think, you know what? No, we can hold off again. We can hold off again. Semi-final makes me think, no, we're conceding the goal. But England v Denmark as the goal, the game where you need to not concede, I think, yeah, all right, we'll be all right. So I'm going to go with 2-0.
I think you're on the right lines there, mate. I think, 2-0. Probably. You know, I'm not sure about, because the thing is, you've got to think the Danish centre-backs, they're massive, like skyscrapers of blokes as well. Yeah. And, you know, I don't know.
Michael's not bad either.
No, he's not. You know, I'm obviously just watching back the highlights I've got on in the background from tonight. We scored 3 headers. You know, I think if we're getting balls in the box again, I think, you know, the pace could help us out in this game. But yeah, I feel as though we've got enough to kind of win the game 2-0, basically. I feel as though we've got enough. It sounds horrible, but Eriksen would probably have been the only Danish player really that would have been like, you know what, he can actually unlock this defense.
But then again, like Dolberg has been really good. Like
they've got, you know, they've got some good players up front. Like Poulsen's been playing well. Braithwaite's played quite well.
But like, you remember how well we've played in defence. So you're right.
Yeah, and this is the thing as well. You know, Pickford seems like he's having the tournament of his life as well. But yeah, I think, you know, Denmark have been conceding quite a few goals. You know, as good as they've been going forward, they've also been quite bad going the other way sometimes. Right. And I think, you know, they could get exploited there. And yeah, I think 2-0 is probably about right. You know, I wouldn't be surprised to see like the Kane Sterling show again. You know, the one thing I hope though is, you know, I'm hoping if we can at least get a goal early-ish in the first half, then, you know, just kind of settle our nerves a little bit. You know, I don't want it to get to like like the Germany game, 75 minutes, and we're like,
well,
what's
the
going
Ukraine
on?
Game was like 4 minutes in, it was like, oh, this is nice.
It was so much nicer and so much more relaxing having to watch that with a bunch of Scottish people with them completely silent after 3 minutes. So
yeah, I bet. What about you, Lucas, mate? What are you thinking for the prediction?
I don't want to, you know, this would obviously be the show where we agree, but I'm thinking, I don't think we, you know, I would love to see a 3-0 or another 4 to be fair, but I don't think. Yeah, I think Denmark are a much stronger team than Ukraine. Yeah, and I feel that just keeping the clean sheet will be important here, and I guess, you know, weighing that up with obviously the strong attacking play that Denmark have shown, it is a case of we will have to defend that clean sheet quite a lot. So time doing that will mean that there might not be time for those extra goals, but you know, I wouldn't be opposed to them at this point. You know, keep knocking them in if you wanna. And I think Kane now, he's going to be hungry. He's going to be hungry now. Now he's in that score sheet. Now he's in the 3-goal club. You know, in the tournament. I think you know, he'll be hungry for a couple. So, you know, it could work that way too. You know, where Kane gets a couple, maybe Sterling gets a couple. You know, and again, like we said with this team, we still got Grealish, Henderson now. Again, I know Dan hates him, but you know, he's able to score goals. You know, he's able to score goals, and you know that's obviously with, you know, with Phillips as well and Foden.
All right, goal singular, not plural. He's able to score a goal.
He gets a winning goal in the final, mate. You won't be saying that then.
He still hate him. You still hate him?
I'd still hate him, but you know, I'd be like, oh, you know what? Yeah, it was all about the cross, or it was all about the assist.
He goes on, like, you know, Long Lost Family, or like the ancestry tree thing, and find out that secretly Henderson is like Italian, like 1/64 Italian, and so we hate him still.
They don't find any excuse. Yeah. The ball just whacked off his head.
Pretty much like the Harry Kane one did the other night. So
well, true, yeah. Okay, so 2-0 for all of us then. Yeah, it's quite interesting. Okay, so beyond the semi-finals, let's say we get through it with all.